So why do I like so much and choose an accolade like wizard, especially when it can seem so pompous? Well, you study plumbing and become a plumber, carpentry to become a carpenter. Well, I've studied wizardry to become a wizard. You look at NLP, one of the greatest books on NLP is called The Structure of Magic. NLP is actually the structure of magic. When you learn NLP, you are literally learning the structure of magic. Wizardry is what I'm about, a long time before ever studying the likes of NLP and Huna. I study Huna. It's one of my favourite subjects to study because it's so beautiful a subject. I respect and love Huna because of what it talks about love and gentleness and expressing love gently with honour and respect because of the practices within Huna being very much like family therapy. I'm telling you all this because when you're classing yourself as a wizard, because it's an unusual subject, you kind of need to explain that somehow. Now, I know that if you really took the time to understand why I call myself a wizard, you'd want to know more than that, surely. There's another book on NLP called The Source Book of Magic. NLP being something that I've studied to master and train a level should speak volumes about why it is that I give myself the accolade of being a wizard. I was studying the structure of magic, subjective experience, what's behind the things that people say, behind language, long before I ever came across NLP. And I was using people's linguistic structures, the language they use back upon themselves, in order to motivate them into higher and higher states of mind, to the point where, after a few moments of being in my company, involved with me, a person went away happy, smiling, laughing, and more motivated towards what they wanted to do. And I've been doing this thing all of my life, since I was really, really young. Hypnotised a girl in my street when I was about 11 years old. What's that got to do with wizardry? I call myself a wizard. Wizardry, magic, is actually very well respected in many places around the world. The highest grossing books and movies of all time are specifically about wizardry and about individuals' trainings in magical wizardry. Novels, books and movies about magical wizardry are usually a metaphor, even if that metaphor is for magical wizardry, because most people can't really accept magical wizardry, especially from someone who doesn't have all the robes and sandals and purple pointed hats and all that kind of stuff. I really want to make my living from a piece of inspiration I found in one of the Finbar books, whereby this guy is obviously built himself something of a reputation, or maybe people just read it off him, where he can be walking down a street, in any town, any time, and somebody comes up to him and basically almost cries on his shoulder, tells him their secrets and says to him something like, you know what, I'm really struggling, I could do with more money in my life. And this guy says, well, how would you like a spell? You know, a raise in your income by, say, 37% in, say, 3 months from now, specifically via having more clients come to you and pay you for your services. Okay? This sort of thing. People just walk up to him out of the blue and ask him to create some kind of magic for them.
You know, this thing about wanting to be able to wriggle my fingers and magically make things happen for people. Why? Why do I want to do that? Why do I want to be able to do that? Well, you know, as part of my thing... He's letting me out. Thank you so much. As part of my thing, I love it when I hear good luck stories from people. When I know they've achieved something against some odds, whatever those odds are. I love it when I hear stories of people who've been able to do things that are seemingly magical, because I'm right into the magical within people. I'm right into the magic in people's minds. I'm right into personal wizardry of all shapes and sizes. So I love a good luck story. I do. And I like it when people are able to achieve things that maybe other people or reality says they shouldn't be able to achieve. I was right into the Incredible Hulk when I was a kid, you know, the hidden strengths that all people have, all that kind of stuff. And I'm right into X-Men and all that sort of stuff, and heroes and all that. I do a lot of reading and research online into NLP and hypnotherapy and personal progress and personal achievement and Huna and all kinds of shamanism and the positive that can come from people's minds. And I'm inspired by many of the websites I come across, many of the coaches that I come across, even the ones that sometimes are not quite so well known as the big boys and big girls, you know. I love how bright and positive they can be. I wonder if I can let you out there, look. I love how bright and positive they can be, and some of these people have some amazing energy. They're so bright and bubbly and flowery and positive and all that kind of stuff, and it is inspiring. It is. You know, often in life we can be too sour and dour for our own goods, us humans, can't we? You know, we can be far too cynical, and it's painful. It's painful in the belly, it's painful in the gut when we are overly cynical. It's painful to ourselves and painful to the people around us when we're overly cynical. And it takes positivity, it takes positive thinking to be able to focus on a good life and create a good life. Can I let him out? Did let him out. Mashy. You know, the big boys in life coaching like Tony Robbins and people like that. Tony Robbins is excellent. Some of the stories he comes out with are just amazing. But just lately I've found some of his methods a bit brutal, you know, a bit blunt with people. And sometimes you do have to be blunt with people, sure. Derren Brown is another one. He's another one of those presenters who, well, he's honed his skill to a phenomenal level via tons and tons of practice and trusting his yes and no kinesthetic response in his body. You know, if you cross-play lots of the different modalities in life, you can get to a point where you're a damn good reader, you know, for want of better words, a damn good psychic. But Derren Brown was another one of those presenters, readers and psychics, a cold reader whose methods got a bit too blunt and brutal for my liking, in that there was one particular series or 2 or 3 shows where he put these students into this house that was supposedly haunted, and it wasn't really a haunted house, and he scared the pants off them, and at the end of the series he gave them all a course of counselling to help them overcome their traumas. You know, it's not very nice for a TV show. It's not very nice to put people who don't know they're going through that kind of trauma, especially without their permission, in my view, in my opinion. But who knows? Derren Brown could easily have been fooling us, the viewers, setting us up for some kind of social experiment. Who knows? I'm just trying to make the point that one of the reasons why I love this kind of role, why I want to do this kind of magical thing of actually really helping people. I don't want to put people through the traumas of haunted houses. I don't really have much respect for that kind of thing if it's abusing people. Even if it is slightly fun, you know, if it's slightly fun for the operator or the psychic or the reader. I don't find that kind of thing particularly fun or attractive or anything like that. I would rather be able to help people in a really excellent and amazing way, and that be a surprise to people. Sure, I'd like it to be a surprise for people, but I'd like to be able to help them in a way that pleasantly surprises them, okay? With some kind of magic, something that's very mysterious to them, something that maybe a lot of people say they perhaps don't understand. That's why I like this kind of stuff. A lot of the presenters nowadays, I look through a lot of stuff online, and I see people like, there's a lady called Yvette Taylor, her name is. She has come out with her own version of her own mix of modalities, her own mix of things like hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming and various other arts, EFT and kinesiology, that she calls EAM, another of the 3-letter acronyms. Stands for Energy Alignment Methodology, or Energy Alignment Method, a way of aligning yourself to the energy of what it is that you want to create or manifest or attract. Energy Alignment Method. You think about, well, in my view, what that would be is you think about what the energy would be of the thing that you want, like money, for example, the energy of money. Now, the energy of money is slightly different to the energy of £50,000. It feels different, it rests differently in the body, it is different, there's a slight difference in the energy. So Yvette Taylor has come out with her version of her mix and her way of handling the different modalities she has studied over the years. And in my view, her methodology, her newly named modality, is a beautiful way of accessing the energies that you desire. In my opinion, it's an amazing art or methodology, in my opinion. There are a lot of other people who also have the opinion that EAM, Energy Alignment Method, is excellent. A lot of other people find that excellent too. I certainly do. I haven't played with it much, but I reckon that even just its name says what it is. Now, because her name for her art is so inspiring, and also because she's quite an inspiring teacher, in that she's cute, you know, she's upbeat, I'm sure she's had her down times, plenty, like all sensitive people do, but she's upbeat, she's positive, she's a little spark of joy. These are the kind of people that I would like to kind of emulate in my life. So some of these are women, and I'm a man, so what? This brightness is a thing that sure I would love to emulate, sure,